on the Super Spaghetti Bros Podcast Network. And also, maybe the best? Who's to say? Not me, even though I just did. I'm Mike, and with me as always is Jason. That face is crazy that you're making. Because now people...
Can you announce me? It hurts.
I did. I said Jason.
Please.
I announced you.
Please.
People have to watch now to see you there.
Okay.
So Jason's here, and we're also joined by a very special guest. Our good friend, Legit Scrub HD himself.
Hey,
Tyler
it's
Rims.
me, Legit Scrub HD.
Hi, Tyler.
Haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah, it's what you're most known for, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Tyler's our good friend, and we were just hanging out, and we were like, hey, dude, do you want to come do the podcast with us at 5 a.m. in the morning? And he was like, I'm not doing anything. So here he is. Tyler, before we get into today's...
That's what it takes to get on.
Yeah, you just got to be around. Before we get into it, you have a lot that you do, but recently you've been doing some the dogs. Talk about the dogs for everybody if people don't know who you are.
So, do you know the dogs? It's me and my friends Ben, Bina, and Swirls. Shout out to them. We have a little YouTube channel called Dogs TV, where we react to most things, a lot of things. Right now we're watching Death Note. We got Parasite, if you like that movie. We're doing Windbreaker. We got some anime openings on the way. We got Bleach. We got all kinds of stuff. If you like watching people react and living vicariously through them, we got you there.
So
It's like watching it with the dogs.
Watching it with the dog.
So how do I get you guys to react to something that I like?
Well, we have a Patreon that you could
it's paywalled.
subscribe
Got it.
to.
Okay. Cool.
But I mean, if we like you enough, we could just do it, you know? And
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like I gotta throw over some shekels to get you guys to react to something.
It's only $5.
Throw some bones at the dogs, bro.
You
Come on
know?
now.
Give the dogs a little treat, a little milk bone.
Take us for a walk.
Oh, okay. All right. So, this episode, because we have a special guest, we're going to talk some Game Awards stuff. We're going to talk some Summer Game Fest stuff, even though it hasn't happened yet, and neither of the Game Awards, I guess. It's like halfway through the year, so it's like, why would we not talk about, like, hey, 6 months from now, what do we think things are going to be like?
Right.
And then...
Looking back at the last half a year, too.
Yeah, so... Summer Game Fest? Where's the S on that? Summer...
Is there two
Summer-
S's? Or is this
Summer's
like JC
Games
Penney's,
Fest?
where people call everything, just add the S?
Yeah.
Maybe is it just called Summer Game? I don't know.
Sonics?
Yeah.
Like when people say Sonics? Whatever Keeley's new E3 is called, it's next week, a week from today, I believe, from this podcast airing. And, it's typically like it's the new E3, right? One thing, I don't really want to make a lot of predictions because, I don't really know what they're going to announce. And a lot of times this event has been a bit disappointing on like the big reveals. It's mostly been stuff we've already like known about, right?
Right.
But one thing I do want to talk about is I believe today of this recording, Square Enix announced that a date for the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 remaster.
They're remakes. They're like the Octopath style.
Oh, okay, so they're full remakes. But they announced the date, which I believe is sometime in October. But we're very interested in what Square Enix is doing as fans of Square Enix. This is the only game they have on the books, and this is typically a company that releases a lot of games, and this is the only game they have scheduled for 2025 that we know of. Do you guys think there's going to be something at Summer's Games Fest? Summer Game Fest. Do you guys think that Square Enix has
Games Fest
a trick up their sleeve that they're going to reveal to us, or do we think that it's just Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD remake?
Square seems to be in not the best shape right now. Like I don't know what they're doing over there, right? They have so many things that they probably could show off or announce, and I guess they're keeping it all close to the chest, or none of it's just ready. I don't know. I don't suspect anything else to happen with them this year.
So you think that it's
Hoping to be
just going to be
surprised.
Dragon Quest?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Wow. No, like, Foam Stars type?
I sure hope not.
Yeah.
God forbid, bro.
You can keep that one.
People did not like that.
No, it was trash. It was trash. I know we're on the wrong ARP, but I'm going to put on a tinfoil hat real quick and say, motherfucking Kingdom Hearts 4 surprise release, dude.
No way.
They were like, you know what? Bethesda, they just popped off dropping this shit and like announcing it like right before it's going to come out. People like that shit. It has crazy buzz. You don't, like Kingdom Hearts, you don't really need all that much marketing. Boom. People are just like, yo, what the? Kingdom Hearts 4? Boom.
We're out next week, baby.
Exactly.
No way. I not even this year, let alone next week.
You heard it here first.
I you know, it wouldn't surprise me if there was a trailer and they said, like, no, it would surprise me. It would surprise me because there's no way, because like what it seems like Square Enix is trying to do now is they're going the previous Bethesda model where it's like, hey, we just announced Fallout 4, it's out in 6 months, right? Or 4 months or whatever it is. It seems like that's what they're trying to go for now. Or they just don't have games ready. It's got to be one of those two things, right? And I don't think Kingdom Hearts is coming out in the next 6 months. So that would be very surprising to me. I do think one thing they could show is this fucking Final Fantasy IX remaster thing that has been just sitting there forever since the NVIDIA leak, and we've been told it's real, and then we don't see it, and then they release
one
like
of the few things on that leak that just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, between that and the Tactics remake / remaster or whatever that is, those are the two that haven't really come to fruition. I mean, we got the Chrono Cross remaster. Kingdom Hearts 4 is on there, but it didn't have a weird name on the NVIDIA leak. It was like, fuck, it was something so dumb.
I don't remember. That was so long ago.
I know. It's just crazy how much of that leak came true, though, at this point. Jason's looking it up. He's doing the stat checking. He's like the Lost Masters. Was that it?
That sounds familiar.
It was like Kingdom Hearts 4, The Lost Masters. I think that was like the subtitle that the NVIDIA leak had on it. Fact check.
I'm not seeing that part on Reddit. Let's see.
I could be thinking of a different leak, too, you know?
So there was, of Square Enix stuff, there was Chrono Cross Remaster, which came out, Final Fantasy VII Remake that's come out, Final Fantasy IX Remake that didn't, Final Fantasy Tactics Remastered that apparently came out?
No, it did not.
No.
That's
I know
not
they
true.
I know they re-released it on like the Apple Store, but
yeah,
I don't know if that counts.
That does not count. In my mind.
Kingdom Hearts 4, Diofield Chronicle, Tactics Ogre Remaster.
That happened.
And then the only other thing that hasn't is a remake of the Tomb Raider 2021.
Oh, like the new version of Tomb Raider, where it's like the quasi open world, like she makes campfires and shit.
Yeah.
Those games are good.
Mm.
They're fun. Like the Assassin's Creed-ified Tomb Raider. So Jay jokingly said Kingdom Hearts 4. Tyler said there ain't gonna be shit.
Nope.
I said Final Fantasy IX remake / remaster. Are there any other? I mean, it doesn't have to be Square Enix. Are there any other games you guys think are going to be revealed during this summer Game Fest? We already know GTA is off the books, right? Any big surprises from Jeff?
I mean, if there was like a trailer for GTA 6, I wouldn't be surprised, right? Like if they just threw something together.
But they already did that recently. I think that would be weird.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I feel like they'd save even like actual gameplay for like a little later, I guess.
Well, and it's like such a big title that I'm sure Jeff Keighley would want that, like
yeah.
Take it. We got something for GTA 6.
No, that's
I don't know why he's like an evil villain.
he is. Keighley is.
He's kind of an evil.
and his best evil friend Hideo Kojima is gonna have a Death Stranding 2 trailer.
Oh my god!
Absolutely, dude! I can't wait to take a good nap during that.
Yeah.
We're gonna see the baby, and then there's gonna be a guy, and he plays guitar because, who's the voice actor? The
Matt Mercer.
No. Troy Baker.
Troy Baker plays guitar.
Bro.
Yeah, Troy Baker's the NFT guy. That's how I always know him.
In Persona 4, Matt Mercer replaced Troy Baker as one of the characters, and they sound exactly the same.
Right? Yeah, bro. Like they're so similar, bro. Like, one of them has like the spiky hair, and then one of them has like the long hair.
Yeah,
like shoulder length kind of thing.
Who was? Speaking of Square Enix, which guy played who in the Avengers game? They were both in it.
Oh shit!
I couldn't tell you.
I think Troy Baker Iron Man.
I want to say one of them is Iron Man.
He might have been.
And then Mercer was Hulk, Bruce Banner. I think that's right.
That'd be crazy. That crazy pull.
I'm pulling it up now. Let's just see.
Pulling it up now.
Iron Man, Nolan North, Bruce Banner,
North.
Troy Baker. Troy Baker, Bruce Banner, Matt Mercer.
Not in it. I was getting Nolan North.
Yeah, not in the game.
Nolan North's there's a trifecta.
He would have been Loki if he was in it.
There's a trifecta of voice actors. I always get confused, and it's those three: Nolan North, Troy Baker, Matt Mercer. Yep. Damn. Well, I was right that one of them was Hulk, but it was Troy Baker. Now. Anyway, Summer's Games Fest. We don't know what's gonna fucking happen.
Yeah, I can't wait to not watch any of the events live and catch them all later when it's more convenient.
Yeah, Jay.
Or just the recaps.
Well, that's the thing is, I was thinking we usually stream it, right?
Yeah.
It's at 5 p.m. EST on Friday. And we're going to see Coheed that night.
Yeah. No.
So
we're like at the event. It's like shocked because so many people's cell phones are there. Like it's just cutting in and out.
Well, I was thinking we could just not spoil ourselves on it and then get out of the concert and just hop on stream and react to it.
That'd be dope.
After the show. Make Zay sit with us and do it.
Yeah, that would be sick.
Maybe we'll do that. We'll see. We'll let you guys know. But speaking of Jeff Keighley's events, we figured, hey, it's halfway through the year. It's basically June. What are the award winners for halfway through the year? The Game Award. If the Game Awards happen today, who would Keighley be handing out these trophies to? And we figured this would be a fun exercise in, one, to reveal how little games we've played that came out this year. And two, how much I'm going to just ride the Expedition 33 cock into all these awards. Because that's what's going to happen. So, where do we want to start on this list?
Yeah, I feel like we can't blow our load with like Game of the Year.
Yeah, we can't go
right?
Game of the Year. We're not going to do every category.
I feel like we skip that and we just like go and then we'll wrap back around, right? So, first up is going to be Best Game Direction, right? And I feel like for some of these, it's like, I wish they would like expound upon what they mean outside of just like, oh, here's the thing that they read on the flashcard kind of thing, where like they all end up kind of being
for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. What does that
Creative
mean?
vision and innovation in game design.
That's like game of the year to me.
Hey, yeah, that's the thing.
No,
is
it's different. It's different. You don't fucking get it.
So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Expedition 33.
What?
Because like obviously that game was like someone's vision, right? It was someone's vision. There was I don't remember his name, but the guy that left Ubisoft to start this company, this game was his vision, right? And it's very unique. And it takes a lot of very well-known things that have already been in other games and combines them together to be its own unique thing. And it has nothing. I saw this interesting thing. It was a video, a YouTube video, talking about how Expedition 33 happened, kind of. And at the end, they played. God, I don't remember his name, but he's the director of Larian, the company, the team that made Baldur's Gate 3. And he had this speech at the Game Awards where he talked about, because they won the previous year, and it was like,
he came out in the armor.
Yeah, and the speech was all about like the people that are going to make the next game of the year. They're not going to care about earnings. They're not going to care about microtransactions. They're not going to care about trends. Yeah. They're not going. And it was just like basically describing.
Banger speech, by the way.
Right, great speech.
Best speech award goes to him, bro.
Yeah, for sure. And it's basically describing everything that Expedition 33 was, right? It's just people that were making it for the love of the game, dude. And to me, like that's the year's not over, but if we're giving the award out now, that's who I would give it to. But I'm willing to hear.
I think that's fair.
Your guys' counterpoints on that. I know Tyler's going to say Blueprints, so
for best game direction,
don't spoil it.
For
best game direction,
I probably wouldn't give it to Blueprints.
But don't you think that game? I'm devil's advocating you right now, but don't you think that game does something pretty unique as well?
I think it's really unique. It's like a game that kind of rewards like curiosity and exploration, and just like a willingness to like look for anything to do. Basically, I don't know if I put it in best like game direction. I don't know if it.
All right, you heard it here first, guys. Tyler hates Blueprints.
I hate it. Don't look at my 120 hours.
Is there? I'm sure that the other game that we'll probably mention a little bit here in these categories is what's the name of it? Joseph Farris, fucking
Split Fiction.
Split Fiction. Thank you.
It'll probably be up there. Absolutely.
I think and I haven't played that game. People seem to really like it. To me, it looks like more of It Takes Two, which is another game I haven't played, but that game was very
just like another
celebrated.
flavor.
Yep.
From what I saw, because me and Bambina played It Takes Two last year, or maybe early this year, I don't remember. But it seemed like more of that, and which is kind of not a bad thing because that game's really good. But I was kind of hoping for something a little different.
Okay. Yeah. I think also what's nice about those games that I'll always give them credit for is only one person has to buy it, and they're normally like $50 or something. Yeah. So it's like just such an insane value, and like they're just fun co-op games. Like who's out here making co-op games anymore, you know?
Right.
So
for
I
sure,
always got to give them props for that.
Well, and it's like, do we want to reward the games that are having like weird, gross microtransactions, or do we want to reward the games that are like doing consumer-friendly things and making games that they want to make?
Right.
You know, and I think we've listed 3 games so far that have done that, right?
And maybe Donkey Kong will be in a conversation. We have to see when that comes out,
right?
In like a month and a half.
Yeah, but Tyler, this is the halfway point. We can't talk about games that haven't come out yet.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know. I feel like we can
really
talk
close.
about ones that we think might, right? Like,
okay. All right. I hate this. I hate to do this.
Okay.
As a Donkey Kong boy.
Mike loves Donkey Kong.
I love Donkey Kong. That's my guy. I don't think people are going to like this game that much.
I could see people being kind of sour to it because they want Mario instead.
Right,
and
that's
it's
literally
Mario Odyssey, right?
I feel like it's from the Mario Odyssey team, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Is that not? Okay.
Well, I don't know if they've revealed that, actually. It just looks
I mean,
like
they
it
are
is.
really weird about revealing that kind
Right.
of stuff. But
There's like no way it's not.
So
Like-
the two sentiments I've heard about Donkey Kong are, why isn't this Odyssey 2? And
Mhm.
why they make Donkey Kong look so weird. Those are the
True.
only two sentiments I've heard. Like, no one is going, yeah, I'm really excited for this game. And I'm excited for it, but I'm not buying a Switch 2 at launch, so I'm not going to play it right away.
Fuck that. I'm
Yeah.
not doing that either.
So-
I would say that would probably be a part of why people wouldn't vote for it. At least, like, obviously they have like a panel that like votes for it, and then there's like the part of the percentage of the votes is everybody voting, right? But
Mhm.
like, I think because of that, it's gonna lose so many votes. It might get nominated, but I would be very shocked if it. And also,
Monster
like,
Hunter is probably
it's like
going to be in that conversation
we're on like
as
game
well.
direction, right? So like, and for me, anytime there's a sequel, I don't like that for this award specifically, unless it really changes some shit.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they don't, right? Like, I would never put God of War Ragnarok in this category, in my opinion, even though it's a 10 out of 10 game for me. Like, I wouldn't put it because they're not reinventing the wheel here. It's like game direction. It's really hard for the sequels to really push that for me.
Yeah, I would push back on that a little bit because I
Like
think
a
this
Ghost
is...
of Yote, like it's gonna kind of be more of the same, but like, refined more, and there's some more different systems to it, kind of thing, right?
Right.
And I don't. It's not like a knock. Like, if it works, it works. But like, for best game direction, a lot of times, sequels are gonna be lower on the totem pole for me.
No, I agree with that. I would disagree that this Donkey Kong game is a sequel. I think it's probably the most unique. You could say it's more of a sequel to Odyssey than anything because, like,
Well, that's what I mean.
What kind of Donkey Kong game has done this before? It's not.
Yeah.
64, I guess, but that's such a primitive game in comparison. Like, you can't really
Right.
say. So I think this is a new line of, like, you can't go, this is the sequel to Tropical Freeze, because it's just not. You know what I mean?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
That's not what I
Right.
was saying. It more so like it's gonna be doing a lot of the same things as Odyssey, right? And like,
Yeah.
that's totally fine. That's totally fair. But it would be lower on the totem pole for me for game direction because of that.
Sorry, I just started looking at what the other categories were, and every category I look at, I'm like, that's probably Claire Obscure. Oh, yeah, that's probably Claire Obscure as well. Oh, yeah, score and music, well, Claire Obscure, so I think the problem with this exercise is I don't think any of us have played enough games this year. Like, I've played Blueprints and Claire Obscure, and I haven't played I've played probably 10 to 12 hours of Blueprints. And I've played probably 60 hours to 70 hours of Claire Obscure.
Yeah, and I'm like the exact opposite.
Right. You and I are like like we're like the
we made it
water
the same
puzzle.
road, but we took different forks in the path.
We're like the water puzzle and Blueprints, but you have all your water in the kitchen, and I don't know how that fucking works. I never figured that one out.
Yeah, and it's like when you have like Mael and she's doing her stance thing.
There you go. All right, let's go.
And then the main guys, Zorba. What was his name?
Zorba.
I don't know his name.
Are
He
you
does the
talking
punch
about
thing?
Gustav?
Yeah, that's him. That you got it. You know it.
Matt Cox? It's weird calling him Matt Cox, not Matthew Cox. Matt Cox is weird.
Pretty weird.
Matthew.
I don't know if you're close enough.
Well, because he's British too. I don't think there's any British person named Matt. They're Matthew.
Yeah.
Matthew.
Matthew.
So anyway,
Bless you.
best narrative, guys. What's the best narrative game? Borderlands 4?
Monster
Yeah.
Hunter Wilds.
Does that game have a good narrative, or is it like, hey,
I don't fucking know.
It's like
dude.
it's a lot of them. It feels a lot like a, and like people are gonna give me shit for this if they're a fan of it, but like they'll be like, it's actually really good. But it's like some Genshin shit where it's like, what's the flavor of the month kind of thing, where it's like maybe the story, or like in an MMO, like in Final Fantasy 14, maybe some parts of it are really good, but
yeah,
it's kind of like
It's
here's
cut
the next
between,
big thing you need to
40
do.
hours of hunting 2 monsters.
Yeah.
Well,
And like,
the
there's
only
good like environmental storytelling in those games, but like not so much like a overall narrative.
I mean, the only one I've really played a ton of is World, and like the story in that was there's a big monster, we gotta hunt it. You know what I mean? Like
It's
that
Godzilla.
that was the story.
Yeah.
I can't really think of anything that's like. I mean, Blueprints has its own kind of narrative, right? Like it's a lot more environmental
there's a lot
storytelling.
of background, environmental stuff. Like a lot of it's read through like notes and like just kind of looking around, pictures.
It wouldn't surprise me
puzzles.
if it gets nominated for this award, though,
Yeah.
because it is a narrative, and it's a good narrative? Question mark.
It's pretty good. I've read most of that stuff.
I mean, you were posting notes in the Discord the other day. You were so in the wrong channel.
Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it just happens.
Sometimes you just got blueprints on the brain, But I'm trying to think of another game that would be like considered like a narrative.
I would assume like Death Stranding 2 is probably going to get nominated for this.
Yeah.
Probably. Did that new Don't Not game, people like that? The Lost in Records, blah, 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 teen drama thing?
You were saying words.
Blah, blah, blah team drama thing.
The people who made Life is Strange put out a game recently. I don't know if people like that or not. I haven't really been listening to any game.
Yeah, I haven't heard about it. I have been hearing, what's the 100 lines, 100
line.
100 line. What I've been hearing about that game a lot. What is that game?
That is a tactics game, sort of like your Triangle Strategy or your Fire Emblem, by the people who made Danganronpa.
Okay,
Oh, snap.
that makes sense.
It's got that art style. It's got those wacky characters. I have a demo downloaded. I haven't played it, but
Yeah, I've seen people talk about it like this game's getting overlooked because everybody's talking about Clair Obscur, and that makes sense. But
Last Defense Academy. Okay.
it's always an academy in those
really like the
Danganronpa. They like schools. Killing Academy, Killing Game Academy, Defense Academy, Art direction.
Clair
Clair
Obscur.
Obscur.
It's a pretty gorgeous game.
Also, in the narrative, I'm pretty sure Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is probably going to be up there. I hear people really like the narrative of that. It's like pretty like realistic for that time period and is pretty immersive.
That's a good call out because I've heard like the original game was like the way I've heard it described is like from 1 to 2 is like from Assassin's Creed 1 to Assassin's Creed 2, where the first one was a proof of concept that wasn't quite there, and then the second one is just like they've made all the improvements they need to make that game, like a good game. Where the first one had some good ideas but didn't super execute on them, where this one definitely executed on them. So that game actually has interested me quite a bit too. When I've heard people talk about it, I'm like, oh, maybe I should play that, but I don't. Unfortunately, I have to play Stellar Blade. That's what I have to play.
I also need to play that.
I don't want to play it, Tyler. I have to. I bought it because people made me.
I do remember that. I did vote for that.
Yeah, that was silly of you. Why would you do that to me?
Also, I feel like it's for best game direction. This is what I was thinking of. I'm sure people are going to nominate Elden Ring Night Rain because it's Elden Ring, right? Like
that would be crazy to
from
do.
Soft, gawk, so
I don't know. I think that game is going to flop.
Yeah, I don't feel like that one's gonna.
I think it's not going to be as big as Elden Ring, which is like fucking the most like cold take of all time. But I think that the diehard fans are going to be like really loud about it. But I don't.
I feel like maybe it'll get a lot of initial sales, but once people actually get into like what the game actually is, Like they'll probably drop off pretty hard.
Yeah, I don't think that game. It seems like that game is some sort of like psyop, studio pressure, kind of like I don't understand who that game's
like a nepo
for.
baby of games, like
because it's not made for people who like Elden Ring. You know what I mean? Like it like the way they've set that game up, it's like, what if we took, and it's not exactly this, but what if we took like the success of Fortnite and combined it with Elden Ring, right? Like that's kind of what it feels like. It feels like a cash grab. It feels like we have to release something, so let's do this like pared down version of Elden Ring that's multiplayer, that's
it's gonna have some like live service shit on it,
right?
for sure.
Yeah, this is the like co-op, like fight the bosses, pick your class. You don't really get to customize them that much. Like rogue like elements kind of thing. Which I don't know if people want, like the co-op people really want for a Souls game, but I don't know if they want the extra stuff that's on top of that, you know?
Yeah,
I think it. I would agree with you, but like I haven't really seen like a FromSoft game like really flop since like Dark Souls 2.
Yeah,
so like I'm gonna give them like a little bit of props, right? Like it could be done well, right? Especially because it also kind of has almost like a Majora's Mask feel to it to me, where it's like, okay, this is like an asset flip, but also it has this like, so day one, you're out going and getting as much gear and upgrades as you can for everyone in your party. And then like the circle closes in during that day. And then you have to fight that boss by the end of the day or else you're screwed kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And then day two, it's like, okay, now you're where we dropping, boys, again, right? And it's procedurally generated. I think it really depends on if they can nail that gameplay loop and it feels good and the replayability is there. I think that Elden Ring was like very carried by like, it's also like a pretty fun game to watch people stream, but like where it ends up falling off eventually, because it is a single player game, is like everyone's already like, yeah, you like to see them fight what you fought before and explore and see how they interact with it. But like with this, as long as they keep adding more bosses and changing stuff to it, and it seems like it would be a pretty easy thing compared to like, you know, a whole nother game to keep fresh. I think it could be done pretty well. As long as like the monetization isn't fucked.
We saw like Nameless King from DS3. I think we saw like someone from Sekiro in there. Like, and they get options if they're just pulling in bosses.
It to me, I mean, do we
the
know
roguelike aspect
that
of it is like the weirdest part to me. I wonder if there's some soft upgrades you can get. Knowing FromSoft, probably not. But
do we know that
not roguelite?
It's that team making this game though? I got the vibe that's under FromSoft, but it's like they have like a satellite studio working on it or something. That's what I've gotten.
Yeah, maybe
could be the B team, but
to me it feels like the Arkham Origins of Dark Souls games, if that makes sense.
For me, it's like if this is the B team that's working on this game, then which team is working on their next game, the Blood Seekers or whatever, the Blood Starvers.
The Switch one?
Yeah, the Switch exclusive.
Definitely not
multiplayer,
Bloodborne.
PvPvE. Like that one's I think that one's gonna be a flop for sure once that comes out. If this one isn't, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like the Armored Core team, that was a pretty good success.
I just really worry about
it's
the
very
online
highly rated
too, because it's like Nintendo Online is not good.
Yeah.
But Tyler, you can have like basically Nintendo's Discord on your game while you play.
And you can screen share.
It's also shit because it's
presentations.
And you just shout at your Switch, because if you don't get the microphone, you just shout at it.
Yeah. I hope
they
my
can hear
friend
you.
With the blender in the back is gonna really crank it up. Because
knowing
he
you,
knows
dude, no one's gonna be able to hear your ass at all. You're gonna have like a fucking oven going, a toaster, a blender,
Yeah.
your washing
Air
machine.
conditioning.
Yeah,
break the circuit, you know.
right. Fucking take out the power. So we've kind of like lost the plot on what we're doing here, and we're kind of just talking about games that are going to come out this year, which I think is fine. But I think we left off on art direction.
Yeah.
It's the same art direction every time, but doesn't Borderlands always get nominated for this kind of shit just because it looks good?
Probably.
I don't remember if I'm sure Borderlands 2 was. I don't know if 3 was. Maybe
Game Awards 2019?
the stuff they've shown just like it's like the same as 3, so I wouldn't expect it to be. And a lot of the level design that they showed so far isn't really the coolest, to be honest. Like, it's fine, you know, but if it was something akin to like the Inside Krieg's Mind DLC or something from Borderlands 3, where it's really weird and wacky, maybe.
So I have a bonus category, you guys.
Okay.
Are you ready for this? We're gonna get off the game category a second. Here's the bonus category. What Muppet is gonna be at the Game Awards this year?
Ooh. I'm really hoping for Rizzo. I really want Rizzo there.
Rizzo would be good. Rizzo would be good. Because we had Waldorf and Statler last year. We had Animal the year before. I believe we had Swedish Chef.
Do we have Gonzo?
And Gonzo. I think that's the last 4. Because Camilla was there with Gonzo because he was like, I'm going to fuck this chicken. You know, like that, like he always does. And Swedish Chef was there because he was in Overcooked. That was like the big reveal. Which I was like, yo, Swedish Chef and Overcooked.
2018, we had Pepe.
Okay, no, I remember Pepe.
Oh,
now
we
too.
had Pepe already.
Yep.
I was gonna say Pepe.
Bunsen and Beaker.
Oh, I forgot about that too.
That.
Shit.
And then Swedish Chef, then Gonzo, and then not Gonzo, Animal, then Gonzo, and then last year, of course, Statler and Waldorf.
Wow, Gonzo was. I thought Animal was 1 year ago, but you're right. Gonzo was in between there. What's your guys' pitches? What Muppet are we having at the Game Awards?
I'm trying to figure out what are we saving Kermit for? Like GTA 6? He's got to come out that year?
GTA 6.
I feel like that's the only time we got to bring out. That's the biggest event we got for Kermit.
You know, I'm at the GTA 6 strip club.
Oh,
bro! Speaking of Miss Piggy, that's my vote, dude. Get Miss Piggy on there.
Okay, I have a memory
just, like,
of Miss
getting
Piggy. Was she at like
pissed off
Summer's
at
Game
everyone.
Fest or something? Why do I have a memory of Miss Piggy being with Jeff Keighley?
I feel like I feel like
maybe.
I've seen Miss Piggy recently somewhere around games.
Do they do a Muppet at Summer's Games Fest too?
Maybe.
Maybe she was at opening night live for Gamescom.
Yeah. I want to know what we got to do to get Sam the Eagle on the Game Awards.
Okay. That's a good show.
Sam the Eagle. I'd also accept Snuffleupagus. I know he's a Sesame Street character, but to me, it's a Muppet all the same.
Miss Piggy was at Summer Game Fest.
I knew it. So are they doing a Muppet at Summer's Game Fest and Game Awards every year now? Is that?
She was there for the one in 2020 where it was like remote.
Hoping us get through it.
Yeah.
Because the
God
picture I'm
bless Miss
seeing
Piggy.
is it's Disney's Muppets Now, and then it's like Jeff Keighley and Miss Piggy on like a fucking Zoom call.
Oh no!
And he's just in his house.
All times.
I'm trying to think like of a memeable Muppet because like they kind of like Pepe was a pretty big meme for a while there, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm trying to think if there's like I mean, has Elmo been on Summer's Games or on the Game Awards?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Elmo's probably the lowest hanging fruit there, right?
I mean, Elmo's a little bit more unhinged now. We can get him on.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a crash out, that Elmo guy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say
why do I have like a Oscar the Grouch memory?
Ooh,
you know, like was
Oscar would be good
on
too.
Something?
Oscar would be good too.
Was Oscar the Grouch on something?
Can we get Bert and Ernie?
Not in today's America, Tyler.
No, I guess not.
No Bert and Ernie in today's America. The right wouldn't like that, okay?
Oh God.
Not the DEI Muppet inclusion.
DEI Muppets. Wait. What about Cookie Monster? Hold on. Or the Count. I know I'm going Sesame Street here, but like there's some untapped potential with these Sesame Street characters.
GTA 1, 2. It's always for GTA.
Vice City.
He says Vice City.
China City Stories.
It would be funny if he was like, the next game has not had 1, not 2, but he counts all the way, and it's like he counts all the way to 16, and then he's like, but the next one is 17, and then it's Final Fantasy 17. That would be crazy.
That'd be crazy.
Or he counts to 33 for Expedition 33, and we just have 34. To sit there.
No,
he counts down.
They go
down.
He stopped at 32.
And then he fucking gomages into dust.
Yeah, he gomage?
Gomage.
Like a food.
I think
it might be.
He goulashes into dust.
Yeah, he goulashes. Gomage. They call it the gomage in the game. I think it means like to remove paint from a canvas with like paint thinner is like the actual term.
He fondues in the dust.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so that was our bonus category, the Muppets. Actually, hold on.
Let us know who you guys want.
Before we move on, I actually have the Muppet I want.
Okay.
Spamela Hamderson.
Shut the hell up.
Hamderson. Hold on, let me look at this character.
Oh my god.
Tyler doesn't know the Spamela lore.
Oh my god.
Hey, who is she? Why is she built like that?
Guys, if you're searching this, make sure maybe go into incognito mode.
Although
it's like when you're watching Dragon Ball and you see Bulma, but then you see Marin and you're like, whoa, hold on.
Your provider can still track you in incognito mode, which is why you need to be sponsored by NordVPN.
Yeah.
We're not sponsored.
Surfshark.
Actually.
Best score in music.
I'm
Probably
sure like
Expedition
Death Stranding 2 is going to be up there.
It'll be in the running.
Probably Doom, The Dark Ages. I'm sure they're going to have like,
I forgot about Doom. People love Doom.
Yeah, Doom. People still like the music for Doom now that Mick isn't doing it.
I'm sure people like who don't know.
I've been told that Doom, The Dark Ages is basically a rhythm game. The way you play it.
That's what Doom turns into.
It's kind of like what was the other shooter rhythm game?
BPM or Metal Hellsinger?
Metal Hellsinger.
Yeah. It's like kind of similar to that, but not you're not necessarily going to the music, but it's to the rhythm of like the gameplay, you know.
But like,
you know what? You know what's going to be nominated for music? Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4 coming out this year.
See, I don't think they're gonna
for the chapters.
They're not gonna nominate it
for
the
know.
chapters. They just won't. Toby Fox is just refusing to complete that game, and so they're not gonna win shit.
They put a DLC for Game of the Year last year. Anything can happen, you know.
That's true. That's Tyler's so right.
No, this one's gonna be a bit of a shot in the dark. but I'm gonna put Fable in the category, bruh. Maybe Fable comes out.
Is Fable coming out this year?
Music. I think so, right?
I don't think they've announced that, have they?
Oh,
I don't know what's going on with Fable.
we'll see.
I don't know, man. I feel like
Nope, 2026.
Damn.
I feel like anything Xbox touches turns to goulash. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's kind of similar with Sony too, though. Like as far as live, I guess specifically like live service shit,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
But like Xbox has been like not winning anything. Like anything they do,
Yeah.
it seems like it fails, and I don't understand. And so I'm just inclined to believe that Fable's gonna be the
Yeah.
same. You know?
It's like
yeah,
they
probably.
make the games, they don't do super hot. Maybe they're fine, right? But they don't really do
I guess
anything spectacular.
Oblivion
So they get, like, a bad
Remaster
rap?
is a example of them not failing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could have fucked
Yeah,
Is
that
that
up.
really
I guess.
them though? They kind of just bought the IP and
Yeah.
had some satellite studio.
But like,
kinda
think about they
redo
bought
it.
the IP and then Starfield came out and it was a fucking
Dog
disappointment.
shit, yeah.
Right. So it's
Right,
like,
not dog
Yeah.
shit, but it's not up to snuff.
yeah. So, best audio design, it'll be some horror game. Best performance. This is gonna be one of those things where Claire Obscure is nominated for 3 different actors.
Probably.
Yeah.
I could
You
definitely
know?
see that.
It's gonna be like fucking God. Why can't I think of his name? Smeagol.
Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis,
Serkis?
thank you. It's gonna be like Andy Serkis, and then Jennifer English, who voices Mael, and then Ben Starr or Matthew
Probably Ben
Cox.
Starr.
It's gonna be one of the two, and then it will be like, okay, then there's one of the characters from Split Fiction, and
Troy Baker from The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered.
Yeah, it's gonna be The
Oh
Last
my
of Us.
god, no. End my life. Just take me out if that happens, dude. Oh my god. No. You know what might I don't know if it's confirmed to come out this year. I think they said it was just this year, but they haven't given it a date. Subnautica 2 for sound design.
Okay,
I
yeah,
can see that.
yeah, I could see
Might
that.
go hard.
Mhm.
And maybe even score and music. Because when the music does, it's kind of like Minecraft where it doesn't always have music, but when it does, you're like, okay, you know.
Or like
Yeah.
No
Like
Man's
Blueprints,
Sky's
yeah.
like that too, where it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like you go into Warp
It feels
Drive and you're
so
like
immersive.
"Oh." Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And I'm trying to think if there's another game that it's like performance farming, for like acting, and I can't.
Yeah, like
I
some
can't think of anything.
Senua's type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another Xbox flop.
Yeah.
The Xbox flop. Best ongoing. This is always fun.
Okay, wait. Also, like Death Stranding 2 is probably gonna have some nominations.
Oh,
and-
you're right. It's gonna be like
Yeah,
Mads
obviously.
Mikkelsen
Yeah.
for the guy who wears a bag over his head, or it's
Troy
gonna-
Baker again as the same character he played the last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Norman Reedus and the
Yeah.
baby
The babies.
fetus.
What's the baby's name? BT? No, that's the mech from Titanfall 2.
It's BB, isn't it?
BB.
Yeah, it's BB.
That sounds right. For baby.
Fabio's going to be very angry at how dismissive we are of Death Stranding 2. That's a good call out, though. There's going to be at least one performance nominated in that category. Best ongoing. Is it going to be Fortnite? Is
Probably
it going
not.
to be
I'd vote for Fortnite.
Genshin?
Maybe Genshin Warframe? That's still doing stuff? People like?
Yeah, Warframe has been doing really good recently, I hear.
World
like,
of
especially-
Warcraft?
They put out this like 19 what is it? It's like 1993
it's like
or
19.
something.
Yeah, it's like
People
old
really liked
times.
that. And then the new shit that they announced is just some straight gooner bait, and people are super into it. So
hold on.
Tyler's like, wait a minute, tell me more.
I'm logging in right now.
I'm sure Marvel Rivals will be on there.
Yeah, I could be up there. Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of Gooner bait,
Yeah. I do got to give him props though, dude. The battle, if you buy the battle pass, you don't have any time limit, dude. I'm always going to give them props for that shit. There is absolutely no reason any battle pass should expire if you bought it.
Did you see that they have a I don't know if it's limited time or what, but they have an auto chess mode now, or they're going to?
Yeah, they're going to add that soon. I don't know if you saw that. We should.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't hear. Someone should probably tag me in that in the Discord. That would be really nice. No, what's funny is, I was tagged in that 3 separate times.
Were you really? I didn't know.
I didn't look at it once. So I haven't even taken a look at it.
I didn't know you got tagged.
So
maybe
any input.
Maybe TFT Marvel Rivals version will be fire.
But I mean, the game has been doing good stuff. Like that right now, they have like a free pass, like not a pass, but like a free kind of incentive where if you pay 3 games a day, you get like a costume coin, and you could pick a free costume from the shop. It's not like the newer ones, but it's like a good selection of them. And it doesn't, once you start it, like it doesn't expire. So
man,
take all the time you want.
Think about the cold, icy grip capitalism has on us when you're like, hey man, if you play 3 free games a day, they give us a free costume, and it's not one of the good ones, but it makes it the monetization less scummy because I get a free one.
It's not one of the new ones, but some of them are good. Some of them are like, if you want your like Marvel movie kind of skin for Namor or Black Panther or whatever, like you can get it. It's there.
I honestly, like, it should not be, but because Diablo 4 last time was, and Diablo 4 is like a burning dumpster fire of a game, it was still nominated. Like, I could see Overwatch 2 being nominated for this because they did the perks thing and it like had a little bit of a resurgence, and then they added loot boxes back.
Like, we're just slowly going back to Overwatch 1.
You can like unlock stuff for free now in the shop, imagine. But I could see that being nominated because of that. Because for some reason we have to nominate something Blizzard every time. But honestly, like unironically, I would probably put Black Ops 6 up there. Especially like compared to the last like 5 Call of Duties that have come out. The amount of content that they put out, there's literally always an event going on that you either unlock like some perks or some weapons through. There's like paid tiers or whatever, like paid battle pass version. The most recent one was absolute dog shit. It was like a 420 event, but like way after the fact, like they didn't get it out in time, and the main skin was Seth Rogen, so you can be Seth Rogen in the game.
I saw that.
And he just like smokes weed and stuff. It's so dumb. But like, you know, the idea that there's always something going on, that even if you're like one of those people like me who is like master prestige and like there's not a whole lot to do, there's just like it adds something for you to do where, you know, like I like to play a lot with my little brother and his friends, and it just gives me something to do other than just like, I'm just playing to play kind of thing, right? And so I give them a lot of props for that. And like so many zombies maps have come out. Like the game hasn't been out for even a year, and I think they've added 4 zombies maps to the game, and those are free. Like it's not like how it was back in Black Ops 2 or whatever, where it's like, now I gotta pay for every DLC in order to be able to get my fix of a new zombies map, you know?
Right.
So
all that being said,
put BO6.
All that being said, the winner will be Honka Honka Star Rail.
It's gonna be the what's the
Zone
one
Zero.
You dress up the girls. What is that one?
Oh, Infinity Nikki.
Infinity Nikki.
Yeah.
Infinity Nikki.
The ass game. My bad.
Best independent game.
Best indie.
Anybody played any indies recently? There's this one.
This one game. It's kind of new. It's like you're like in this house and you have to like kind of build the house as you go along, and there's like a bunch of puzzles and stuff. It's kind of niche. It's called Blueprints.
I never heard of it. Never heard
By
of
a
it.
guy named Tonda Ross, a visionary named Tonda Ross, over at Dogu Bomb.
I watched this Markiplier play this game recently called White Knuckle. And
yeah, I've heard of White Knuckle.
It's a climbing game that's procedurally generated, and you're climbing like out of like a facility, and it's like a horror climbing game. And it's not the kind of game that I would like, but he was really into it, and it was cool, and it was well designed, and it's definitely an indie game. I don't know that it'll get enough run to be nominated, but game. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I feel like the clear winner for it, in my opinion, is probably Schedule 1. Like that game just blew the fuck up.
That's true.
And like, it just is like a pretty solid. Like, I remember back in the day in high school. I'm dating myself, but the Weed Farm game, like people were playing the shit out of that game, and it's basically the same thing, but like way less involved. Like it's not like a first person thing, right?
Right.
It's like a resource management and like a risk management kind of thing.
This is the point where I point out that Claire
legit.
Obscure Expedition 33 is an independent game. And
Claire Obscure sweep, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Monster Train 2 came out recently, and people fucking love Monster Train.
Yeah, Monster Train pretty good.
And Monster Train 2 is more Monster Train, but better, from what I understand.
I played it during the Roguelike Rodeo.
Yeah, I remember that. Best debut indie game, same idea here. But
Yeah,
I'm trying to.
my answer didn't change.
Is there?
It's probably Schedule 1. It's literally just one guy.
We're starting to run out of categories
A Balatro.
that make sense to talk about without having more knowledge, because it's like best action adventure, best family will be a Nintendo game, probably Mario Kart.
Mario Kart, obviously.
I'm sure.
Best fighting goes to Bleach, Rebirth
that.
of Souls, obviously.
Yeah, obviously, we all know what that is.
I still know the difference between action adventure and action game. I don't know the difference still.
Yeah, I don't either.
Well, it's got a lot of action, but you wouldn't call it an adventure, you know?
Yeah.
I guess not.
I'm sure that what's the fucking Bungie game that's coming out? Marathon? I'm sure that wins something.
Is that coming out? We don't know anymore.
I think that's getting delayed.
Yeah.
They literally just canceled all paid marketing for the game because they had a scandal. I won't get super into it, but basically they had art that was stolen, and it's like the fourth time Bungie's had this in the last several years, and the art director and like the director of the game all follow this artist that they plagiarized on Twitter and have been. And then they had this planned live stream to show off a ton of gameplay and stuff because people played the beta, and it was a ton of like Escape from Tarkov because it's an extraction shooter, but doesn't have proximity chat and like all these other things that you would want in it's basically like a Mickey Mouse extraction shooter from what it seems like, but like they had this stream plan to show all this gameplay, but that plagiarism dropped like a week before, and they didn't have enough time to scrub through everything in order to make sure there wasn't more plagiarism. So they still had the live stream. Instead of canceling the live stream, they still had the live stream, started off by apologizing, but like not really, like a shit apology, and then just proceeded to talk about like things that they like. It was just like two dudes on a podcast basically talking about the game and what they're doing, and without showing anything on screen. And then there was another guy who was like kind of interviewing them in a way and doing like having questions and stuff, and it was so scuffed that like they had like a a delay on the stream for their audio. Then the art director somehow got kicked from the Discord and couldn't get back in mid thing. So the guy was asking a question that a viewer had, and then the guy had to tell the other guy next to him what the question was. It was just like the most scuffed thing of all time. I don't know why they didn't cancel this shit. And so it got even more negative like press because of this terrible live stream that they should have just canceled. And then they canceled all marketing. Like it, and like the vibe was just terrible on the stream. They seemed to depress this shit, and like the game just doesn't really look good. Also, from the small amount of gameplay they showed, because people were like, "Oh, it's gonna have Destiny's gunplay in it," and Destiny has some of the best gunplay. Period. Like it has a lot of issues, but the gunplay itself feels super fucking good. You watch that for 10 seconds, and it just looks like clunky and bad and slow and just not at all. Like the gameplay of Destiny does not lend itself at all to the tension that people are looking for in an extraction shooter, right? So even if it was, it would be a bad idea, but it just doesn't even look as good as Destiny gunplay. So yeah, that game is probably going to get delayed, if not canceled outright. I don't know. It's not looking good.
The art thing is like enough for them to have to like really put in some work, because this like the art style isn't particular to this artist. They just like the art style, but in the assets, there's like a bunch of stuff that the artists put in their own work that's like just straight up taken. Like there's like inside jokes. There's like logos you can tell are like barely scrubbed out. Like one of them is just their logo. It's still there. It's just like, what's happening over there, bro?
That's crazy. I don't understand how you do that.
Well, and like this is the thing that we were talking about before, where like if you were like an indie developer and you thought you might get away with this as like some super niche game, that's like at least somewhat understandable, because like some of it is like this is just like a decal that's on a crate that you can like climb up. Like it's not like it's some core shit, right? It's just in the game. It's like fucked up, right? But like if you were an indie developer and you thought you could get away with that shit, that'd be one thing. You're fucking working for Bungie, bro. Like they're not the hugest studio, but it's a huge company, dude.
Bungie working under
it's not gonna get
Sony. Like where you have so many eyes on you right now.
Yeah, I don't understand how these like frauds think they can get away with this. This is the 4th time it's happened to Bungie in the last several years.
That's so crazy.
I think they just have like such a management problem. This game's just going to be an absolute flop. If it is nominated for anything, I would just assume like malpractice at the Game Awards, and I don't think that is the case. So
I thought you meant like that there would be a malpractice category at the Game Awards. Like best malpractice, best scandal.
Look, everyone's worried about the AI stealing art, but no one ever thinks about the humans, No one ever thinks about the humans stealing the art.
It's true.
Or like the humans using the AI.
All right.
Oh my god, dude.
Content Creator of the Year, Lands the Master. Done. Sign it.
True. Yeah.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
Right. Norman Mayan, I like that guy. I don't know. Is he...
I think we've mined this concept for as much as we can, considering, again, I've played 2 games that are out this year.
Best sports, I think, I don't know if it's going to happen, but I really hope it goes to Rematch. That is the soccer game, the 3v3 soccer game, by the people who made Sifu. I think that game's going to slap.
Rocket League will get it.
Yeah, probably.
Give it to Rocket League. Why not? Best
ongoing
game.
With cars.
Anyway, so that's our half-year report.
We didn't do Game of the Year, right?
Oh shit, you're right. Game of the Year.
Circle back.
Game of the Year.
I forgot that we didn't do it right away. So let's.
Just say Claire Obscure.
Well, no. What I was gonna ask is, how many nominees do you normally have? 5 or 6?
There's always 6.
So Claire Obscure,
Death Stranding.
We
We need.
I I feel like Schedule 1 will probably be in there, kind of like a Balatro.
Schedule 1.
I feel like that goes to Blueprints.
Blueprints.
I think it could be
the
either
indie
or.
goes to Blueprints. Monster Hunter probably up there.
Is Blueprints on console?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
part of
Yeah,
the
it
reason
would
it
probably-
took off, Jay, is because it was on
It's on
PlayStation
Game
Plus.
Pass and PlayStation. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. That makes more sense.
So let's just keep that in either Schedule 1 or Blueprints. We'll keep that as 1.
I feel like Blueprints would probably make more
Yeah.
sense because Schedule 1, I believe, is only on PC.
So, Clair Obscur, Death Stranding, Blueprints, Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter. We haven't talked about it
Probably.
at all. But reviewers I've heard are liking it more than past games. Assassin's Creed Shadows. People are liking it. The reviewers are, at least.
I
They
think
haven't
Ghost of
enjoyed it, though.
Yote market
Yote,
corrects that.
Yeah,
we
I
know
think
what
Ghost
that-
of Yote.
yeah.
I think
clears
Ghost
it,
of
to be
Yote
honest.
market corrects that real hard. I personally
I
do.
forgetting that comes out this year.
Yep. So and we haven't talked about that game at all either. And that game probably is going to be in some categories like best direction,
Yeah.
art direction.
I think I mentioned it a couple times.
Yeah, you did bring it up once, but we didn't really talk about it.
You brought it up when you were saying that sequels are shit and shouldn't exist.
Yeah,
Well, no, I was saying it would probably get in music and score is when I brought it up.
yeah. You were
well.
like, "Fuck sequels, they suck. Ghost of Yote sucks." Is what you said. So we need one more.
Borderlands 4, baby.
If
Hell yeah,
Borderlands
dude.
4 is nominated for Game of the Year,
It's probably
In-
been a shit year.
I was just
Yeah.
gonna say, in my personal opinion, that was a pretty shit year.
I love Borderlands, but if it's up there, it's probably been a really bad year.
Border-
Hey, did we
Borderlands-
say split? You said split.
Oh, I
Fiction?
didn't say Split
Split
Fiction.
Fiction,
I
yeah,
guess right
that
now
there.
that's what we'd
Yeah.
put. Borderlands is like junk food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
like-
Yeah.
Borderlands being nominated for Game of the Year is like if Thunderbolts was nominated for Movie of the Year. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't make sense. Like I'm sure it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun, but it's junk food. You know what I mean? Like it's good junk food. I like the
Right.
fuck out of it, but it should not be nominated for Game of the Year.
It's gonna be my game of the year.
So that's our 6.
This girl is on fire.
That's our 6. I'm not.
Kingdom
If
Come
it-
Deliverance, maybe.
Well, that's another one. I'm not convinced Monster Hunter stays there.
Yeah,
think
I could
maybe
see that
it
getting
depends.
booted out.
I think those games come and go real quick, and that game came out too early. Like if it
Probably
came
Donkey
out,
Kong.
I think Donkey Kong could be there.
So, yeah,
I think
maybe some Nintendo game might be. up
Mario Kart, if the open world stuff really goes as well as they think it's going to, I think people
Yeah.
will like that. I don't like Mario Kart, but like, not everything's made for me.
there. Yeah, I don't really have Mario Kart either.
More like Mario Fart. Am I right, fellas?
yeah, hell yeah.
I feel like Mafia Old Country will probably get nominated for narrative. I was just
Okay.
looking at.
Is Metroid Prime, even if Metroid Prime came out this year, I feel like it still wouldn't be up there.
It's supposed to come out this year, isn't it?
I think so. They haven't really given
Yeah.
a concrete date other than this year. So.
I could
don't
see
really
people
trust
really
that.
liking that. I think Metroid Prime is dumb. I just give me 2D Metroids. Don't give me this fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And also the what they showed, like I thought it looked fine, but like the textures looked like poor. I don't know. It just looked. I don't like Metroid in 3D regardless.
Okay,
but
but you can use a mouse now. Not a mouse. You can use a Joy-Con as a mouse.
I heard that you can connect
A worse mouse.
I heard you can connect a Bluetooth mouse to the Switch. That's the rumor.
Ooh.
Is that you can connect a Bluetooth mouse to it. And the game they use as an example is Civilization 7, which doesn't make sense because that game doesn't.
just
Yeah, why would you want that?
the UI was created for
text
console.
We haven't talked about our favorite game. I can't think of the name of it now.
Tales
but-
of the Shire.
No, the wheelchair basketball game.
Dragon Drive.
Dragon Drive. Drag X Drive. That's what it is. Drag X Drive. That's probably winning something.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the new Splatoon.
Accessibility.
You know? Accessibility.
Best narrative,
Game for
Tamagotchi
Impact?
Plaza, bro.
Oh, okay.
Accessibility is
we need to
Best
move
esports
on.
game.
We need to move on after accessibility.
Best esports.
Jason, I heard you have a Japanese word of the day for us.
Okay, so the Japanese word of the day. Japanese word of the day. Today, it's for when maybe you have a podcast, and typically on that podcast, there's only two of you, but you have just randomly a third person come on, and you don't really explain why, and so people go, "Yo, why did you have this third person come on?" And you're like, It's Japanese
Wait,
word of the day.
They have a
You
a
don't have an
word?
answer. You say
Is a word?
Yeah, it's a filler word.
Yeah, it's a filler word.
What's the definition of
There's another one, ano.
Yeah, I know. I'm more familiar with that one.
Ano is another one.
All right.
And you don't have a response.
That was
Just
the
like,
Japanese word of the day.
That has been Japanese word of the day.
I feel a little
Japanese
ripped off
word of
by
the
the
day.
Japanese word of the day.
Yeah, so if you have that situation happen, guys, there you go.
All right. We got a question of the week this week. Believe it or not. So that means it's time for the question of the week. I'm sure that was long enough.
Thank you.
I'm sure it was. This week's question of the week comes from our good friend, Miss Weinrib. Shots, Miss Weinrib. And Rib's question is, YouTube is 20 years old. Any memorable videos? Perhaps a top 5.
Ooh.
So since there's 3 of us, I feel like we should
This makes me
probably
feel so old.
just go around. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to mention an older video, and I'm going to mention a newer video. So I'll start with my older video. And for me, it's a video / a playlist of videos that I go back to maybe not once a year, but close. And that is Markiplier's playthrough of Five Nights at Freddy's, baby.
Okay.
I'll watch that shit like it's watching an old
solid.
television show, I will watch Markiplier's playthrough, and I'll end up at Five Nights at Freddy's 3 sometimes. I'll get that far in, It's quite a watch. So that's my old video recommendation. But what do you guys got?
For an old video, I'm also gonna pick a playlist from an old channel. They're not together anymore. Called the Super Best Friends.
I thought he was going to say us.
They have a similar like blue and red logo. I get them confused sometimes when I'm looking, but they have a playlist of a game called Indigo Prophecy.
Bro, I love Indigo Prophecy.
It's one of the first let's plays I watched of them, and that game fucking sucks.
It's
But
terrible.
It's so funny to watch, and they have a lot of fun. They play like every David Cage game, so I usually just have a playlist of all those going at some point or another. What about you, Jason?
Dude, I gotta say that absolute classic. The reason that the YouTube meta even came about with the Let's Plays, I gotta say the PewDiePie Amnesia playthrough, bruh. That shit is absolutely goated, bruh. I remember going back a couple of years ago, rewatching it just to see does this shit hold up or is it trash? And it's actually still funny, bruh. It has that nostalgia factor and the scuffed camera and audio, makes it funnier, you know? Like, whenever you see those the low quality videos on like Instagram or something, you know that shit's about to be fire. But like that's it with the old Amnesia videos, and it just spawned YouTube basically.
The Markiplier fucking 8 pages. Fucking he used to say something weird when he first started.
So this is a recommendation. It's a video that came out pretty recently, actually, 3 months ago. And there's this YouTuber I watch named Jeffiot, and he makes like video essays on different stuff. The video I first saw, he was ranking all the deaths in Final Destination, but like on how, not just like on how cool they are, but on how real they could be. Like he's got a very dry, he's European, he's got a very dry like sense of humor. But the video I'm gonna talk about is, it's titled "I Don't Want to Be This Kind of Animal Anymore," and it's a nearly 5-hour video essay on the game Disco Elysium. And he doesn't normally do games, like he's normally more of a movie guy, but this is like maybe one of the most emotionally effective and entertaining videos I've ever seen on YouTube. I've only played like an hour of Disco Elysium and I didn't vibe with it. I get why people like it. But the video itself, he like relates it to his own life. He relates it to different anecdotes. And it's just a really incredible video. And one that, you know, you're not going to watch all 5 hours in one sitting probably. And I didn't, but it was the kind of thing where, you know, when you're playing or watching something that's really good and you have to stop for some reason, and then like you're like going to bed maybe, and then you're like, man, I can't wait to play or watch that tomorrow. That's what that's the kind of effect this video had on me. I said, man, I can't wait to watch the rest of it. And it's just really well done. He makes really good videos, but this one was like kind of a master class in what a video YouTube essay could be. And so we'll link all these videos in the description, obviously, but I highly recommend people, if you have, like I said, I've never played Disco Elysium. I know what it is. I know why people like it, but this video had me just like enraptured watching it. And so that's my newer video recommendation.
My newer video recommendation is from a channel called Caleb City. He is a sort of a sketch video kind of guy.
Goated.
All the videos are bangers, but one that really stands out to me is about how fearless minions are in any video game. It's basically like, you know, you're the main character, you're running through, you're fighting a bunch of guys. And no matter how many guys you beat up in front of them, they are ready to throw hands with you. They don't care. And he plays really good on the concept, and it's really funny. And yeah, just I like all his stuff. So
yeah,
for me.
Check out Caleb City. Like he's like really consistently funny, I would say.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he does good, like a really good job of like pulling back the reins on bad videos, because like they don't really come out, you know. Like I'm sure he scraps that shit. He's like, yo, check this shit out, and then whoever he has, either he does it or whatever his friend group is, that's like, yo, this shit is not hitting, like just quality. So I agree.
Yeah,
with that.
even his like sponsored ads are pretty solid.
Oh yeah. For me, mine's kind of similar to Mike's in a way. It's by Eruption Fang on YouTube, and it is a 6 hours and 45-minute video going over the entire story and lore chronologically of Black Ops Zombies. And you would be like, yo, what the fuck, bro? Like, that's some, like, you're really scraping the bottom of the barrel, right? Like, what the hell? Well, if you're talking about World at War, the very first one that came out, you would be right. But, like, they've retroactively made certain things about that mean more. And after, I would say, Black Ops 1, but, like, very much in Black Ops 3, they leaned a ton into actual like storytelling. It has no right to be as good as it is. It has like, for me, I really like anything that is in the time period of like the 1940s and like the backdrop of like World War II. Like that historical period is just very interesting to me. And so having that backdrop of it and just literally all of like World War II and the Cold War and all this stuff being like sprinkled in between like the zombies shit as well as so it has like this historical shit, the fantasy shit, there's like some like magic and extra dimensional shit, and they just do such a good job of it being like, okay, so here is a zombies map that we made, and then like all these steps to the Easter egg and stuff, and then here's the overall story and like voice recordings that you find, and how the YouTuber specifically stitches them all together in a way. And he has segments in between where instead of just having you like, he's like reading certain documents or whatever that you can find throughout the games, and just how he puts together the story, it feels like a movie, and how he puts together and talks about it, it really feels so immersive as something that you're just literally listening to. You can really see it in your head, almost like a radio show almost. And so there's certain times where there is cutscenes, like they started adding cutscenes partway through for like beating Easter eggs and stuff, and it's just so good and is nostalgic in a way too. This video is only 3 years old because obviously like stuff's been coming out, but yeah, it has no right to be as good as it is. So if you like World War II stuff and zombies stuff, but also like they do like time travel and other dimensions kind of thing, it's really fucking cool. It's so good.
Hell yeah. I do have an honorable mention. Shout out to Kabagman. Jay and I were a couple weeks ago. I was sharing my screen with you for some reason, and this video came up in my suggestions called "Where's the best spot for a beer in Mario Sunshine?" And I was like, that's a really funny idea. And then I watched the video and it fucking sucked. It was fucking terrible.
No,
Okay.
no.
Like the audio was bad. Like it was kind of funny and like they were trying, but like they clearly just had a good idea and didn't have the ability to run with it. And
Right.
but it blew up for them anyway. Like it's got almost 200,000 views. And so now they're trying to, where's the best beer spot in Wind Waker? Where's the best spot to have a beer in Oblivion? And the diminishing returns are happening to them because I don't think the quality's that great. So, unfortunately, video's not good, but good idea.
If I had to give a real honorable mention, I finished a video game.
Oh, dude.
Banger channel.
Dude.
The retrospectives,
So
10 out
good.
of 10s.
So
He
good.
like goes through and will play every single game in the franchise and give like historical context to like the developers, and like a lot of times it's different developers and what other things are going on with that game. Like,
Yeah, no, I finished the video game's really good. Andrew Blewett has been doing a retrospective on every Final Fantasy game, and he started with 1 and will tie in like at the end of it will be like, oh, so Sakaguchi-san is, they're on the squares on the ropes. What will happen next? And like go into like to get ready for the next one. And he also does some Kingdom Hearts ones. He's done one for March Caprice every year, and they're really good as well. So they're in a similar vein as I finished the video game. Like they're both very thorough. They talk about the development. They talk about the games themselves, the story, everything. So
the gameplay.
Yep. So if you needed good YouTube videos to watch, all these links will be down in the description. Tyler, do you have an honorable mention? I feel like you do.
If I have an honorable mention, it's gonna be Northern Lion. He has like an 800 video playlist. Been playing Binding of Isaac, just like
I think
absolute
I've
cinema,
actually
dude.
watched him before.
It just, you might have. He's a bald guy with glasses. Like he looks.
Oh yeah,
like Mike
yeah.
or something. Like
I'm actually Northern Lion, believe it or not.
yeah, a little bit.
Nah,
I remember
I'm
just
him.
stumbling upon that stream because it was like front of Twitch or something when What is it called?
There's Rebirth.
Rebirth. I want to say Rebirth, but that felt wrong because of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I was like, is Rebirth right? No. Actually, it was Repentance when Repentance came out.
Yeah,
Nice.
he's really good. Nice Canadian lad. Nice. I don't know if he's nice, but he's a lot of good rambling going on. Plays a bunch of games.
Yeah, you might be a fucking asshole.
That playlist of Binding of Isaac is just like so like zen for me, I guess.
Like perfect falling asleep to YouTube material.
Hell yeah.
Like in the best way possible kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, all right, fellas. I think that's gonna do it for this week.
We did it.
We did it.
Also, shout out Chocolate Rain.
Oh, Chocolate Rain.
Yeah, I guess we could have picked like some memeier videos, huh?
Shout out Chocolate Rain, Gangnam Style.
Yeah. Where's the
I remember Gangnam Style was so viral. I had multiple fucking teachers in high school because I was like a sophomore or a freshman, I can't remember, when that shit was popping. I had like my math teacher just randomly play it in class on the projector. My English teacher. It's like, what is happening? Like, it's
Shout
just
out,
so popular. It was being played in school.
50 Frank, like on Harlem Shake type shit.
Yeah,
You know, like
yeah.
Any Show
Harlem
Moyo
Shake.
songs?
Oh,
Shout out to Show
yeah.
Moyo. Shout out to Leprechaun in Alabama.
Yeah.
Shout out Chills, Burger King foot lettuce.
Classic. Well, Tyler, thank you for joining us on this week's ARP.
No problem.
If people want to, where can people find you? What's
You
your
can find
address?
You can find me. You can find me on Blue Sky at Tyler Rims. It's TYLER and of course you can find me on the Dogs YouTube channel. That's the Dogs TV. We have a pink logo. It's kind of like the MTV logo. I might get sued one day for that. But
DAWGZ, right?
DAWD. Shit. DAWGZ TV.
Dogs.
The Dogs. Go check out the Dogs, where you can see Tyler, Swirls, and Becky react to things. Bambina, yeah, she doesn't like when I call her Becky. But yeah, thanks again, Tyler. Love you.
No
Appreciate
problem.
you. This is much better than when you said Hugh Janus on the Ansem Report.
Yeah. Nah, that was Jason that said that.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, that
you're
was
right.
me.
That
me.
was
You're getting
Jason.
mixed up.
Yeah, sorry, I got confused. I think the episode you were on was like close to that one, so that's why I got so confused.
Mhm.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you everybody for listening and watching. We'll see you again next week on the ARP. I don't remember how we ended this. Did we do the? Yeah, I know, but like, what do I say? Like, I don't remember. Do I just say ARP? Is that what I do?
Yeah.